everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight. It is Wednesday night, and we are going to talk about stress. I know none of you probably have any of that right now, but just in case it comes up in the next week or two, I just wanted to help you handle it. I know, it's a little bit of a crazy time. Everyone's been using the words strange and weird and eerie, and we're living in a very different time right now. The future is uncertain, and that obviously, for obvious reasons, makes us feel very edgy. So a lot of people are reporting that they're more anxious, having more trouble sleeping, maybe even having panic attacks. Some people just feel depressed, unmotivated, sluggish, tired. All of those things are valid responses to what's happening, but they're all also things that we can do something about. So I always like to do something about it, and that's why we're here. So I put stress at the top of my triangle, and some of you have seen this triangle before, but it's never been more important to know this idea than right now. So in the times we're living in, knowing how to take care of your health, how to take care of your family's health, how to prevent illness and disease, and how to optimize your health so that going forward you can actually not only resist infections, but really just be the most optimal person that you can be, and to weather this unusual time, and to weather the stresses going forward. All right? Okay. So even though you've seen it before, I want to show you again. So organ dysfunction is in the bottom corner here. So when we talk about organ dysfunction, we're talking about the different components of your body malfunctioning or dysfunctioning. That can happen for different reasons. One of the main reasons why it might happen is from a nutrient or nutritional deficiency. So when we talk about nutritional deficiencies, we're talking about not only things like protein deficiency or fat deficiency, that's a thing. Even water could be considered a nutrient in some circles, but we also talk about specific things like minerals, B vitamins, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the specific nutrients that can get depleted when you are under stress, whether it is an immediate stress, like something happens to you that's shocking, or whether it's prolonged stress. I would say that most people in America are under prolonged stress. We have busy jobs, we run from place to place, lots of things on our schedule, and some people have even reported during this time where they're maybe not working, not having to commute, able to stay home, or even just at least have to work less hours. They're really reporting, actually, a lot of them, that they feel less stressed because they're not racing around and they're not on such a tight schedule. So that's good. If that's you, awesome. So you're recovering from all those other months and years of stress. If you don't normally feel too worried about your day-to-day schedule, but now you're suddenly worried about other things, that can be more of an immediate stress that needs to be handled. But either way, the things we're going to talk about will apply. So stress is at the top of the triangle, and it doesn't matter if it's emotional stress, physical stress, something immediate, or something long-term that can create nutritional deficiencies, and then your organs will actually dysfunction or malfunction. So for instance, if you don't have the right amount of nutrients like minerals in your body or B vitamins in your body, which get depleted when you're under stress, you can have your heart malfunction, which will make you feel as if you have palpitations, or it's hard to breathe, or you have tightness in your chest. You might feel fatigue, numbness, and tingling in your hands and legs. Those are all symptoms that could happen if your heart were under stress. If your brain doesn't have enough of the right nutrients, you can feel like you're not able to relax and calm down in order to get restful sleep, and you might actually feel like your brain is just racing all the time. Or you might get brain fog, like a short circuit of what's happening in your brain because you don't have all the nutrients you need. So what we need to do is be really smart about making sure you have everything you need in order to keep your organs functioning optimally and minimize these symptoms. Fair enough? Okay. So what myself and Emily here in the office, what we specialize in and what we focus on are ways to help people not only manage stress, but to optimize their diet so they're getting all the nutrients they need. So you've heard us talk time and time again about sugar and how sugar will damage your body by reducing the amount of nutrients. It actually strips the body of nutrients. Interestingly enough, it specifically strips your body of minerals and B vitamins. So you already heard me mention that those are the things that stress take out of your body. And then if you add sugar to the mix, it just gets that much worse. So the number one thing I've been talking to people about, we've been doing lots of telephone appointments over the last few weeks. And what we're talking to people about is how to minimize their sugar. You know, when you're at home and the refrigerator's right there, the pantry's right there, and it's staring you in the face, stress eating and having a lot of sugary things or carbohydrate heavy things, that's not the time to be doing that. Right now is the time to be focusing, laser focused on your diet. So if you've heard me say all these things a million times, but you haven't really put in the effort or been able to get it done, maybe today's the day. Maybe this is the time. Stress could be replaced by the word sugar, because sugar depletes those nutrients and it causes organ dysfunction. So when we have symptoms, when people come in and they say, or they call and they say, I have this, I have that, I have the other, really what we're most focused on is why. What is the underlying issue? So you need, in your diet, you need to reduce carbohydrates and keep the sugar to an absolute minimum. You need to increase fat. So you need to increase good quality fats. So that's butter, coconut oil, avocado, olive oil, good nuts and seeds, good quality meats and protein. I know sometimes that's hard to come by. If you're struggling to find good food, let us know, give us a message. We'll tell you where to find good food, because we talk to people all day long that go to all different grocery stores, so we can tell you where you're most likely to be able to find what you need right now. So increasing your amount of fat in your diet will help you in a couple of ways. Number one is it supports the brain, it feeds the brain, it feeds the heart, and so therefore it helps with prolonged and sustained energy, it helps your brain work better, it actually helps to calm the brain. One of the things we use in our office when children have trouble paying attention in school because they're not focused and they're scattered, we give them a lot of good fat, usually some good quality fish oil that's high in what's called DHA. And DHA is calmative. It calms the brain, so it helps people sleep, it helps you feel less nervous, and it helps with focus. So that's one example. I brought out a few different things. So we like to use really good quality products in our office. Going to the grocery store and buying supplements it's dangerous in a way, because you don't really know what you're getting. They're not well policed. That's not the word I'm looking for, but basically there's no one to make sure that what's in the box is actually in the box, except for the people manufacturing them. So we only use a handful of supplement companies because we want to know that what we're giving you is the highest quality, that it's going to work, it's not going to harm you, and that what is in there is actually in there. What it says on the label is actually in there. So we use a lot of Standard Process and MediHerb products. So Standard Process is out of Wisconsin. They have an organic farm there. And then MediHerb is actually from Australia. So they come in these beautiful brown boxes that some of you know and love dearly. This product right here is called Minchex. Minchex is a mineral complex. It is made from real food, including animal parts. All right, I don't know when you lost me, but we're here again. Sorry. I will tell you about Cataplex B, assuming that I didn't tell you already. Cataplex B is a whole food vitamin B. It's half the B complex. It helps with brain fog. It helps to replenish the B vitamins, obviously, that you're missing from stress and everyday life, or maybe eating too much sugar. This is great if you have heart palpitations, or if something, if your heart's beating erratically, or feeling like it's going to pop out of your chest. Cataplex B is very helpful for that. So those are two of our favorites. I have dozens and dozens of different supplements that help with these types of things, but those are two of our favorites. They're very popular around here. I also brought forward two herbs that we use. So when it comes to herbs, again, quality really matters. So you need to know that the herb is potent, that it has a lot of the active ingredient in it, and it doesn't have, that it's actually taken from the right part of the plant to have therapeutic benefit and no danger, and no dangerous benefit, or no dangerous side effects. So these two are a couple of favorites here in the office. One is called ashwagandha. You might have heard it before. It's kind of a mouthful. Ashwagandha is very good at helping with stress. It supports the adrenal glands in particular. And then another one called Kava Forte. Kava is like kava kava. That's another herb that's very calming to the brain. So we've had many people take these with excellent results. Ashwagandha we usually use during the daytime to support energy and stress response. They are stress modulators. So they help the body to handle stress so that it doesn't cause harm in the physical body. And then Kava Forte, again, that's usually something a lot of times I have people take if they're in a stressful job during the day, but a lot of times I have them take it before bedtime just to really calm the body, calm the nervous system. So those are some of our favorites. Obviously, we like to make specific recommendations for people based on what they need and what their specific body is in need of. And we do that either over the phone right now. We can do some in-person appointments if it's an emergency. So if you need an appointment or if you need a new patient appointment, you can call us. We're happy to help. We'll get you set up with what you need. Even if you just need to order supplements, we're here for that as well. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, one of the words that keeps getting thrown around since this whole coronavirus situation began, I don't know if you've seen on the news, but they talk about comorbidity. That's a word that they keep using. I'm going to write it down. So comorbidity, I don't know that anybody actually knows what that means. They just keep using the word. All right? So comorbidity. So some people, they look at the word morbid and they think death. It's not exactly what it means, but it certainly increases the likelihood that you're going to have some situation happen. Comorbidity means more than one disease existing at once. So if you have a comorbidity, so they talk about how if you get coronavirus, the people at most risk have comorbidity. Basically what that means is the people with an underlying existing illness have more trouble recovering and have less likelihood of a good outcome. So that would be things like heart disease, high blood pressure, obesity. Obesity is proving to be one of the main comorbidities that's a problem when it comes to coronavirus and bad outcomes. It can be anything. Diabetes is another one. Anything that has already weakened your body and created less than optimal situation. So then you're going to be less likely to be able to fight off the virus and less likely to be able to recover from it. So again, I said at the beginning of this video, there's never been a better time to optimize your health, to work on your diet, to work on the things that you do have control over. So it's not about bad genetics. It's not about, well, my parents had diabetes or I'm destined to have high cholesterol or everybody in my family has heart disease. All of those things, I'm not saying you can cure them always, but they can be helped and they can be minimized and you can optimize your health. So that's something that you just really want to keep in mind. It's not a foregone conclusion that you're going to get sick just because your parents or your grandparents were sick. There's a lot that can be done through diet, through supplementation, and through exercise. So right now, it's becoming a little challenging. Some of you have more time than you've ever had, but it's harder to get outside, especially in Michigan where it's been snowing all day. But if you can get outside to exercise, fantastic. Because one of the things that you get when you go outside in the sun, even if it's for a short time, is vitamin D. Your skin will convert the sunlight into vitamin D. So we need vitamin D for our immune system. And, we need it for happiness. So right around February, everybody in Michigan knows people get really grumpy. Part of it's because they're cold and they're sick of being cold, but part of it is because they're out of vitamin D. Any extra vitamin D that they had stored up is gone. So they start to get grumpy, they start to get depressed, they start to get moody, unmotivated. I've helped many people with this just by supplementing really good quality vitamin D. So that's something to keep in mind. So sunshine is the best vitamin D. Outdoor activity, of course, will also increase the good, clean air that you breathe. Indoor air can be quite dirty, especially if you use any sort of scented products or conventional cleaning supplies. And especially right now, everybody's sanitizing everything. All those chemicals, they're not great for us. So getting outside, breathing some clean air, very important. Even if it's in your backyard, even if you just stick your head out the window, that is still helpful, okay? The other thing we want to talk about is just being active. So if you can't go outside and be active, or if the weather doesn't cooperate, then the other thing you can do in your house, we have a good exercise video on the page that Emily did. She's going to do another one here in the next few days. One of the things we like is yoga, because it covers a lot of bases. Yoga is good because it helps you to relax, so that's a de-stressor. It helps you because you breathe in a lot of the poses. So a lot of people, especially when you're stressed or worried about something, you tend to take much more shallow breaths. You don't fully expand and fully exhale. So that's a problem because it actually weakens your breathing, and you don't get enough good oxygen. You'll just feel worse, more tired, more stressed. So yoga is really good because it slows us down and it helps us to breathe more deeply. There's an app called Down Dog, and right now everything's free on Down Dog. You can sign up for free and you can use that app, and it has tons of different yoga poses, yoga sessions. You can pick how much time you have, what level you are, if you're entry level or you're more advanced, and you can go through those different types of yoga routines, and that will help you with stress. It'll help you with staying stretched out and getting some good movement into your body, and also of course with breathing. Okay, so those are some of the really important things that you want to do. And the very last thing I'm going to tell you is going to be the hardest one for you right now, but it's the most important, and that is not to watch the news. So if any of you know me and you've been around a while, you can look back on videos from many, many years ago, and one of the recommendations I always give during a stress, anxiety, mood lecture is not to watch the news. I promise you, you're not going to miss anything. People are going to let you know if there's something important you need to know. I'm not saying that you can't, one time a day, look at something important, look at the weather, look at, if you want to know how many people recovered today from coronavirus, look at that. But please don't sit and watch, hour after hour after hour of the news right now. It's hard to do right now. There's a lot of things happening, a lot of people talking, a lot of chatter. But it's one of the worst things you can do for your mental health. It's one of the worst things you can do from a physical health standpoint, because you get worked up, you get stressed, you deplete your minerals, you deplete your B vitamins, and then you want to eat sugar because you're like trying to help yourself. So if that's not you, great. But if that's you, if you recognize what I'm saying when I say those words, please just make a concerted effort for a few days at least to unplug, get off social media, get off the news, just look outside, look at the trees, look at the bright blue sky, if you can see it, and take some deep breaths, because it's all going to be okay in the end, and we're here for you, anything you need. So please call us, shoot us an email, give us a comment on these videos. We're happy to help in any way we can. Otherwise, I will leave you with that. Have a wonderful evening and stay safe.